Welcome to This Explainer. With Mother's Day coming right up on May 10th this year in 2026, we're diving into a history that is, honestly, way more complex and dramatic than you might expect. I mean, forget the standard brunch reservations and those last-minute store-bought bouquets for just a second, because the true story behind this holiday, it's an absolute roller coaster.
Okay, let's dive into this, because here is the ultimate paradox of Mother's Day. The woman who fought tooth and nail to establish this holiday actually ended up despising what it became. I'm talking about spending the later years of her life actively, passionately campaigning to have it abolished. It sounds completely crazy, right? Like, how on earth does someone go from championing a day of maternal recognition to literally knocking on doors with petitions to shut the whole thing down?
To figure that out, we really need to look at the timeline of a woman named Anna Jarvis. Now, her mother, Anne Reeves Jarvis, was this incredibly dedicated social activist. She organized work clubs to improve sanitation, and she even tended to wounded soldiers from both sides during the Civil War. Well, before she passed away in 1905, Anne prayed for a memorial day to commemorate the matchless service that mothers rendered to humanity. Anna never forgot that prayer. In 1908, she organized the first official Mother's Day service at a small church in West Virginia. And she just campaigned relentlessly until President Woodrow Wilson made it an official national holiday in 1914. But get this, by the 1920s, Anna was actively protesting her own creation, literally to the point of being arrested by police for disturbing the peace. So why? Well, it's because of what happened to the very soul of the holiday. Anna Jarvis publicly described the floral industry, candy makers, and greeting card companies in absolutely brutal terms. She called them charlatans, bandits, pirates, racketeers, kidnappers, and other termites. I mean, she despised them. She felt they had completely hijacked a movement that was supposed to be deeply personal and intimate. To Anna, buying a pre-printed card wasn't sweet. It was just a sign that you were way too lazy to write a heartfelt, handwritten letter to the woman who literally did more for you than anyone else in the world. She wanted quiet, genuine gratitude, not this explosion of mass-produced commercialism. And honestly, the irony here is just off the charts. The very symbol that became the absolute epicenter of the commercialization she hated was actually a flower that Anna Jarvis herself chose with the purest, most innocent of intentions. It's what we call the carnation connection. 500. That is the exact number of white carnations Anna sent to that very first official Mother's Day service back in 1908. And she chose them for a really simple reason. They were her late mother's absolute favorite flower. She even went as far as trademarking the phrase Mother's Day right alongside that white carnation emblem. Now, what's really interesting about this is the beautiful, almost poetic biological reason Anna chose the carnation. According to our observations, a carnation doesn't just drop its petals as it fades. Instead, it hugs those petals inward, holding them tightly to its heart as it dies. She saw this as the ultimate, perfect metaphor for a mother's love, how mothers hold their children to their hearts forever, with the love that literally never dies. It's pretty incredible when you think about it that way. But as you can probably guess, as the holiday's popularity just completely exploded, the floral industry stepped right in. They quickly realized they could take this single, simple tribute and turn it into a highly complex visual language. They effectively created an entire floral code. The cultural meanings of these flowers expanded super fast. Anna's original white carnation became the specific symbol used to honor a deceased mother. Soon after that, florists introduced the red carnation to represent deep love and gratitude for a living mother. Then came pink, which symbolized a mother's undying love, a tradition that's actually tied back to ancient Christian legends of the Virgin Mary's tears. Yellow became the go-to flower for a mother who was also a close friend, and lavender took on some very specific, nuanced meanings. For example, in Haiti, wearing a lavender flower quietly signals that your mother has been gone for many years. It essentially became an entire grammar of grief, love, and gratitude, worn right there on your lapel. Now, while Anna Jarvis was fighting this completely losing battle against the florists and card companies here in America, the core concept of a day to honor mothers was taking root all over the planet. Let's shift gears a bit and look at how beautifully and uniquely the rest of the world honors motherhood. Globally, these traditions are just incredibly diverse. Take France, for example. The holiday there actually began out of wartime anxiety after World War I. The government started giving bronze, silver, and gold medals to mothers of large families, which eventually evolved into the tradition of gifting beautiful flower-shaped cakes. Over in Japan, school children draw portraits of their mothers for these big art contests, and families cook egg-based dishes like oyakaron to represent life and nurturing. Mexico takes this day so seriously that it's fixed on May 10th every single year, regardless of what day of the week it falls on, and it kicks off with early morning serenades by live mariachi bands. In Nepal, thousands of people gather at the sacred Mata Tirtha pond to honor mothers, both living and past. And in Thailand, the day falls on the Queen Mother's birthday, and it's celebrated not with carnations but with white jasmine, representing purity. And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer contrast and how different cultures express their gratitude. In the United States, we have this single Sunday in May that's heavily focused on snagging brunch reservations, grabbing commercial greeting cards, and buying floral bouquets. But now, compare that to Serbia. In December, Serbia turns Mother's Day into this playful, slightly subversive 3-day family celebration. Early in the morning, children will literally sneak into their mother's room and tie her feet together with ribbon or rope. She actually has to hand out small treats or gifts to her captors to win back her freedom. I mean, it's hilarious, it's highly interactive, and it binds the family together with shared joy rather than just, handing over a store-bought card. Here's another incredible contrast for you. You know how Anna Jarvis absolutely hated the idea of buying expensive, mass-produced gifts just to check a box? Well, she probably would have deeply appreciated something like Ethiopia's Entourage Festival. Instead of a single day of commercialized giving, Entourage is a massive 3-day communal homecoming that happens right at the end of the rainy season. The entire extended family travels home, and everyone brings very specific ingredients. The daughters will bring vegetables and cheese, the sons bring the meat, and they spend days cooking this traditional hash dish together, singing songs and telling heroic family stories. It perfectly highlights that true connection comes from community and shared experiences, not just swiping a credit card. So we have all these wild, incredible differences, from mariachi bands in Mexico to communal feasts in Ethiopia to literally tying feet with rope in Serbia. And yet, despite all these varied and wonderful cultural rituals, there is still one undeniable global unifier for this holiday. So the crucial point is this. Flowers really are the one truly global grammar of this holiday. Whether you're handing over white jasmine in Thailand, chrysanthemums during the autumn season down in Australia, lily of the valley in France, or that classic carnation in the US, nature's blooms remain the absolute ultimate symbol of maternal gratitude. They are a language spoken across borders, across cultures, and across oceans, wherever and whenever a child just wants to show a little appreciation to the woman who raised them. Which brings us to the end of our explainer today, and I really want to leave you with a direct challenge. How will you honor the matchless service of the maternal figures in your own life? I strongly encourage you to just skip the commercial noise this year. Remember Anna Jarvis' original heartfelt wish. Don't just buy a card because it's the easy, expected thing to do. Find a meaningful, truly personal way to show your gratitude today, whether that's writing a long handwritten letter, cooking a shared meal, or just sitting down for a quiet, distraction-free conversation. What will you do to make them feel truly seen, appreciated, and loved?